welcome back to another exciting episode of Switch Talk, the perfectly pocket-sized podcast where we cover the hybrid console that has stolen our hearts and minds, the Nintendo Switch. Welcome back. The day has come. The ultimate game has arrived. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's a Nintendo fanboy's dream, okay? The fan service is wall to wall. I'm super excited. We've been in grand anticipation for this title for a long time, and it's finally arrived. Long story short, it's pretty cool. I am joined by my illustrious co-hosts, Clay Howard and David Jones. Clay, say hi to the people.
Hello, people.
Clay, one-on-one, me and you, stock 3, no items after the show. David Jones, say hi to the people.
Hello, people. The time is here.
I
We have arrived.
I want to start just by saying that this game has delivered on what I thought it was going to be. It does have some faults, but I've been enjoying it even more than I thought it was. Sometimes the hype level gets so high around certain titles that you just don't know if it's gonna reach that peak. I wanted to start with probably the mainstay of the whole thing, which is the character roster. When they started to announce that everyone was going to be there, and then subsequently the DLC plan and the Joker announcement recently, it just seems to get better and better. And on the flip side of that, with delivering so much as a game as a whole and the amazing character roster, I think it's at 74 right now, right? Is that with it or without the DLC? Who can confirm that off the top of their head?
74 without DLC.
Incredible.
75 with Piranha Plant.
Look at that, Piranha Plant coming. With the game doing so much, you also have people that just aren't going to be happy. One of the things is like the character unlock times. It starts with the original N64 characters, and you have to unlock everyone step by step through play. This normally would not be a bad thing. It's not like there's a pay to win thing here. It's not like there's a lack of content per se, but then there's this other side to it where it's like, okay, if it's only taking me 10 minutes to unlock each character, and there's ways to, go around that system and do it even faster. I don't have a problem with it. What are your thoughts? Clay, what do you think?
I don't know. Let's see what David has to think.
David.
I have no problem with it. I think it's fun to slowly unlock the characters, and it's not like there's any ridiculous objective you have to do to unlock a character. You just keep playing the game and you'll get them all. And it's sort of because there's so many, sort of slowly spoon feeding them out actually makes you play them more. Like, I've played way more variety of characters in this game than I ever did in the Wii U version, just because they were all there and it was kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
This gives you a good chance to get new characters, then you get excited, then you go play them. And I just think people need to stop complaining and be more patient, because it's not like you'll have them in a week.
Right. Because when we got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or whatever it was called, they just give you all the tracks, all the levels. I think you had to unlock like race car parts or whatever, but I don't know. And it just felt like it was like, what's really the point, Granted, it was a re-release, but still. Yeah, so I'm with David. I think that having to unlock the characters little by little makes it exciting. I've seen a lot of people saying they think that the challenger approaching battles seem to be more difficult than they maybe have been in the years past. And I'll be the first to admit I've lost some matches to challengers and then had to go back into that menu and find that, that where you can re-challenge them. And I don't mind that. I think that's kind of fun. And yeah, I think it's a good time. It gives you something to do. It's kind of addicting to unlock new characters and other unlockables. And so I'm having fun with it.
The Incineroar Challenger battle was so hard.
Really?
Yeah, I ended up not even beating it. I ended up unlocking him in World of Light instead, because that Challenger battle was so hard.
Huh.
It's definitely not egregious. I mean, I'm glad you brought that up, Clay, about the Mario Kart example, because we've seen it before, and I think I was in the same boat as you. It's like, okay, I kind of want to accomplish something as I play, and there it is. You're going to unlock the characters. And if you do lose during the challenge, they pop up again. I don't see I could see if that is even if that one little quality of life thing wasn't there, how it could get frustrating after a while. But I mean, we tried to organize a tournament, and no one had their mains unlocked for the first weekend, so I could see how it's gonna rub people the wrong way. But I think all will be forgiven in a week's time when we all have everyone, and it just added that longevity to the game. The other thing that adds longevity to the game, of course, is the other modes. We jumped right away to the character roster and, talking about, fighting in the multiplayer side. But what were your thoughts on this World of Light and Spirit mode and just the whole everything that's offered there? What do you think?
I thought Clay was taking that. Sorry. I like it. I know a lot of people have been really disappointed with it and saying it's not as good as Subspace, but I'm in the camp that I thought Subspace was not very good, and it was just kind of trying to make Smash into something it wasn't. And one thing I really enjoy about World of Light is not only is it full of just insane fan service, there's so many cool places you can visit and go, but it focuses on being Smash and having the Smash battles rather than doing half-baked side-scrolling that I didn't think was very good to begin with. And I really enjoy collecting things, and I enjoy a lot of collectathon games, so I think it really feeds into that because I want to get all the spirits. And it's really fun to sort of go into a battle trying to figure out what character to use, what spirits to use, because there's some that are basically near impossible unless you use a certain character or a certain spirit. And there's sort of a strategy to that I think is really something that hasn't been in Smash before. It is probably maybe a little bit too long. I will give it that. And, I've probably put at least 20 hours into it, and I know I still have quite a bit ahead of me. So, yeah, I understand some of the complaints, but for someone like me, I think it's, not perfect, but way better than I would have expected an adventure mode in Smash to be. And I've put probably about 90% of my time into World of Light since I've picked up the game.
I had a quick question about the spirits. People were saying that they miss trophies, and having these deep dives where you're going to be getting this collectible that represents, something from the deep well of Nintendo. Are there any descriptions that go along with the sticker? Edge similar to trophies, where if you had the Mario trophy, it's like first appeared in these games and like a little fun fact, a little bio. Is there anything like that? Am I just not seeing it?
That's actually probably one of the things I miss the most is that it will say where they're from, but more of in like a broader sense, like from this series. So if you get a really weird character, like where in the world is this character from, you can go look on the collection screen in the spirit menu and you can find out where that character's from. But you don't get really like a big, background to it. I've noticed that sometimes during the loading screens, there'll be kind of like random blurbs and facts about Nintendo that seem to be kind of in place of that, but it's not necessarily about the spirits. But you'll find random little facts about Nintendo characters and any character that's in the game sometimes through the loading screens, which I thought was a nice touch. So I do miss that a little bit because you have to do a little bit more work on your own if you really want background for some of these characters, unfortunately. And I think that's just a side effect of there being so much focus on making all the stages, all the music, all the characters, which at the end of the day I think was the right focus, because I would rather have all that than have trophies I'm going to look at a couple times. And I'm glad that they came up with a way to still have a collectible item with the spirits. And they actually did kind of, I think, make up for it a little bit by having them add abilities, because that added a new element that wasn't there with trophies. So it's give or take. I do miss the blurbs, though, and you're right, that is something that is missing. But
in my opinion, I'm sorry. That's a glaring omission to me. It makes me very sad. I think that I didn't pay attention to it, back in other titles, as much as I wanted to, and I was looking forward to doing it again. And I've always been addicted to those little bio blurb things, whether it's trading cards or stuff like that, where you're reading like a Marvel blurb. But I really enjoyed it before. Clay, where do you come down on it? Have you dug pretty deep into those modes, the World of Light and Spirits, or what do you think?
So yeah, that's the issue, is I haven't got far enough in World of Light yet to fully appreciate like some of the stuff that David's talking about with like the different locales and everything. And so, but what I've seen so far has been pretty good. There's been a number of fights that I just can't beat, and I guess I haven't spent the time to swap out my spirits enough to figure out how to overcome them, and I get that that's part of the strategy. But luckily, there's not like a one way you have to go kind of thing, so there's the freedom to kind of, well, if you can't handle that one, you could always come back to it later. And so I've been choosing to do that, and then I just go fight somebody else and work my way through that way. And that seems to work for me, but I like that there's a challenge, and some of them it's just not, and I think I'm playing on the normal difficulty. And so I read, online, a lot of people were playing on hard, some were playing on easy. And I think that also dictates how long your game is going to take you to beat. I think that slows you down a little bit, obviously, if it's harder. So I mean, that being said, I really like it. I get your guys' issue with not having the trophies as far as like the historical stuff. I never really dug the trophies. That didn't really do anything for me. I mean, it would be cool unlocking them, but I would never like really go look at them, or maybe I would read up on them, but like that wasn't really a thing for me. So rather giving these really obscure characters like a purpose, and you actually feel like they're maybe kind of contributing to the game, I think really enriches it and allows them to add some really deep cuts that we probably wouldn't get otherwise. So I think I prefer it this way, but I can understand why people aren't as thrilled. But to take all of the spirits, how many of them are there? Over 1,000?
Yeah, about like 1,200, I think.
Yeah, to like give a bio and like games that they've appeared in for each one of those would take so many man hours. It would be like ridiculous.
You get an intern, you give him some coffee and donuts, have him do it on
Hey,
weekends.
who doesn't want to work for Nintendo?
That's all I'm
right?
saying. I'm just saying it could have been done on the cheap. I would have done it. Clay, you would have done
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
Me, you, and David in the room, just like putting like actual
think I agree
factuals
with-
in there. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. I think I agree with Clay though that while I do agree that I kind of miss it, I think the spirits as a whole are better than the trophies because they feel, as I said, they feel more impactful in the game themselves. So it feels like more characters are along for the party, if that makes sense.
I found it extremely impressive to even come up with this concept. It was already there, but I think they really expounded on it where it's like, oh, we want you to have a battle against, I think, is it Metal Sonic? So we'll have, what's the evil Sonic character?
The robot one?
Yeah, Robot
Metal
Sonic, whatever.
Sonic?
So they put you in a battle with Sonic, and he has metal characteristic on with like the jetpack, and it's like, hey, this is you kind of fighting, this other character, and I thought that was really great. It was pretty well implemented in there. Like, it's like, oh, you're gonna be fighting, you're gonna be in balloon fight, and it's the balloon fight stage, but you're fighting Villager, and they're just constantly using their up B attack to, where they have the two balloons on top and they're floating around, and just all of these scenarios I think are cool. I don't know if I'm having. I'm enjoying it because of the music actually that I'm coming up against in all these in the World of Light levels, but I'm not sure if it's really fun. It's kind of odd, but I do appreciate the work that went into tailoring it. I think the other aspect of the spirits mode gets a little too in depth, where you have to feed them these little like small, medium, and large nuggets and level them up. It just added a layer to it that I didn't know if it was completely necessary. Making it a little bit more convoluted. I'm not a fan of games where you have multiple currencies and multiple systems within systems, and I just felt like it kind of got out of control at a certain point. It's like, oh, there's 4 different element types, like the shield, the attack, the neutral, and the whatever. I'm like, okay, there is a lot going on here, and like Clay said, maybe it is necessary later on to win battles to take advantage of that strategically, but it was just a little too much for me. It's not what I came to the game for, but totally appreciate it nonetheless.
Yeah, that's what classic mode is for. That classic mode is really good too. So spirits is for people like me who want to get a little bit more crazy with it. So,
what did you think about at the end of classic mode, where you're fighting your 8 little mini matches? They usually have Master Hand or a combination of Master Hand and Crazy Hand. Have you guys experienced the other mini bosses or the other bosses at the end of some of these classic matches? Either of you?
Yeah.
What did you think? Who did you see out there? It's a minor spoiler. I'm sure you've seen. Videos.
Yeah. The first one I did was I played as Link, so that means I got
Yep, same.
Ganon, which I was not expecting. That caught me off guard. So I've seen him. I played Mega Bowser or Giga Bowser, whatever he's called, as Mario, and then I've done the hand. I think those are the only 3 that I've witnessed. So I'm not sure what else is out there.
Yeah, there's more in the Spirit Worlds of Light as well. Honestly, I think that's why they're in classic mode, because I think they were probably created for World of Light, and then the ones that they just dropped into classic mode where appropriate, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was weird, though, because I played as Donkey Kong, and I got to the end, and it was the Master Hand guy. They didn't use K. Rool for, like, the final boss.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
what?
K. Rool's not a dedicated boss character. He wasn't designed for that. So I'm
I
just
know,
going with
but
Master
you gotta
Hand.
put...
Yeah.
That's his dude. That's his rival, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree with Clay. Total missed up. Just give me like a giant K. Rool or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's Rythios, I think is the name. It's basically a Monster Hunter monster that is famous in
That's
the
right.
series.
The
and
dragon.
They're out there. Yeah, and it's the move set of these bosses is unique. They are sometimes very large. I think they're extremely well done. And I was just excited to have that in there. It's the variety is the spice of life. In this game, they use it to the fullest. Whenever I like that they're willing to break conventions and their own rules and say, hey, you know what? We made this for World of Light, let's say. Let's throw it in there. I think that's just great. It's like this is a game to have fun and, you know, to be as tailored to lore or whatever you want to call it, their own little mini stories as possible. So paying that homage I thought was great. There was a couple more. I don't want to spoil even too much, but I thought it was pretty excellent that they did that. Do you have any favorite characters, you guys, just like that come out? Maybe some new ones that you haven't played?
Yeah. K. Rool is honestly, it's probably better than I imagined it was going to be because I was a little worried. I wasn't sure just how heavy he would be if he was going to feel really slow. But I like playing with like the bigger, heavier characters. I play with Donkey Kong a lot. I play with King Dedede a lot. So really, it wasn't a huge learning curve, and so I've really enjoyed him. The jury's still out for me on the Inklings. I think somebody else on the show is not a fan of them. I haven't played with them enough just yet, but I think they have a really like unique, you know, the way that they work with, you know, putting paint on them and stuff. But really, I think for me, K. Rool, and yeah, I was going to play with him regardless because, you know, obviously I was stoked to hear them announce him and love him as a character. So, but I think he definitely exceeded my expectations going into it. And so I've really enjoyed playing with him. I haven't even like played with it enough to feel like I really am like using him well even. So I've got some room to grow there, but I was pretty happy with him. I haven't played with Ridley yet or a couple of the other new ones I haven't even been able to try out yet. So I need to get back to unlocking some more characters.
How about you, David? Who are you liking?
Out of the new ones, I probably like Simon and Richter the best. There's just something about their moveset, very long-range smaths that really, I think, fits my playstyle well. K. Rool is really cool, but I suck as him. I love his Final Smash, but I'm not used to playing the bigger characters, so that's probably why. So I need to practice more with him. And then I kind of just go back to a lot of my old mainstays. Like I love Link. Roy is one of my favorites, always has been. Roy and Marth were some of my top picks during Melee, and I still love them. Young Link, it was great to have him back. Yeah, and actually, my kind of surprise is I actually started to really enjoy the Mii Sword Fighter, just the default one you unlock with the default moveset, which I think is another cool thing is you can actually unlock the default Miis with the movesets for the Mii fighters rather than having to create them all manually this time. Like you never could. You'd always have to use your own. You couldn't get the advertised ones in the Amiibo.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, but you can unlock. Unless, as far as I know, you couldn't get the old ones in the Wii U. But yeah, you can unlock the standard ones, sort of using the official art in the Amiibo, without having to have those Miis saved on your console in the Ultimate, which I thought was really cool.
That is cool.
I'm
Yeah.
fascinated by the tier list that people come out with. Sometimes outlets will be posting, what the pros are saying or whatever after the first short, week of play. And it's just interesting. I actually did see the Mii fighters as like one of the more top tiers. They're like, yeah, the sword Mii and the buster Mii is like really good. I thought that was kind of hilarious. For me, I was really surprised because the game, again, in the fight to unlock everyone got me to play Peach, which I never really would give the time of day. And she's actually really OP in my opinion. She can deal a lot of, great damage. She does have a really good jump. And I don't know, it's just a standout like to me, and that's someone that I would go back to. What were you going to say, David?
Oliver was one like that for me too.
Surprising.
He's really surprised me. Olimar and Lucas, with characters I never really played, but there's a couple spirit battles that they're really, really almost required for. And so I got actually decent figuring out how to work them. It's like, wow, these characters are actually really good. They're a little bit higher learning curve, but they're really good.
Yeah, Zero Suit Samus was another one. I like characters that are quick but also feel powerful. To me, Smash is all about, finding the ones that are right for you at first. But then you could look at any character and look up pro level play, and there's just such depth when you look into like canceling and like all these things that you can do to do combo moves, which I hardly ever pull off. But there's so much depth if you want it to be there, if you're willing to put in like the time. I think that's the genius of the game. The other one that I never got a chance to play because I think she was DLC before was Bayonetta, right? So I unlocked her, and I thought some of these moves and the new smashes have animations to them that aren't there in some of the older characters, and I thought that was really interesting. Like K. Rool's like smash is like so amazing just to see it. Like when I'm getting killed by it, I love it. Like the whole scene changes, and I love it. It's excellent.
And everything just feels so fluid and polished. Like all the fighting, the stages, everything it just feels, there's a certain feel to playing it that I don't get when playing a lot of the older Smash games. It just feels like I am playing a premium Nintendo product. No dime was spared to make this the best version of this game it could possibly be.
Did you have any disappointments with the game? It does have flaws, obviously. It's not perfect, but it's just so jam-packed with amazing content and replayability. I think that in the the classic campaign, the lack of like a break the targets, now it's just standard for every single person, this weird like collect coins, bust things up, maze things.
Right.
It's super boring. I think it's the worst like choice they could have made from anything that's come before, anything they could have done. Little things like that irk me. Again, the spirits are a little convoluted for my taste. Lack of cutscenes in World of Light, where after that first amazing intro, you think, oh man, this mode's going to be crazy. We're going to see such, amazing stuff. And that's lacking.
There's more.
What do you think, David? There's more? How many more? When? Hell, tell me.
I haven't beat it yet, so I don't know. I've gotten at least one more CGI cutscene though, and I'm not done yet. It's not like Subspace though, where they're like all over the place. They seem to only be at really, really major events with the game. I imagine there might be. I'm sure there's going to be one for the ending, so I think there might be one at the beginning, one in the middle, and maybe one at the ending. I've heard there might actually be multiple endings too, so there might be maybe 3 different ones. So maybe there's
Really?
like 4 or 5 total.
That's
yeah.
interesting.
So they're there. They're just not. They're way more sparse. So
Any kinks in the armor that you could think of, David?
probably just the only thing that bugs me, as I said, is the lack of sort of trophies as a vehicle for a history of Nintendo. Another cool thing that's missing is the ability to play like some little bits of like the past games. So there's some little like Nintendo history stuff that's missing. Like I know a lot of people have brought up like break the targets and home run contests, but I always found those annoying. And those are like one of those
What?
ways that I felt forced to unlock characters. I don't really miss that stuff. To me, Smash is about the fighting, and I really love that that's what this focused on, just getting the characters, the stages, and the music, and all, to me, the stuff that I thought really makes Smash, and then just polishing that as much as they possibly can. And Worlds of Light, obviously, is just kind of icing on the cake for that. And so to me, I have few complaints. To me, it feels like this game was tailored completely to my tastes for Smash, so... The small thing with the lack of trophy information, to me, it's nothing. What I get in return for losing that, it's not really a complaint.
What about you, Clay?
I don't know. I a lot of the stuff, Tony, that you brought up, I think is all valid. So I could totally echo a lot of that. I guess really the only thing that was frustrating, but didn't surprise me in the least. That I went in with like zero expectation. It's still the online stuff, is still kind of laggy and difficult. And yeah, I don't have the LAN adapter, and I need to get it. And I know everybody doesn't have it, and I
You
know
were
that makes a
specifically
difference.
instructed to buy it.
Yeah.
I'll get one.
I actually forgot
like
about
it.
that. The online, that actually is probably the most major flaw.
Yeah,
But
'cause
I guess Smash is kind of meant to be couch, which I get.
right.
But
Yeah, but you would think after what is this is this the third one
Third
that
one
has
online.
online?
It does work the best out of any of them, though.
Yeah,
Even with it's not. I can play through a match without significant lag. One thing that I noticed, sounds kind of crazy, maybe just a testament to America's internet infrastructure, but I played from two people with the UK, and I had less problems than when I played with you guys.
I believe it.
huh?
Yeah.
Weird.
I know, so I don't understand. It was almost perfect when I had maybe a couple matches with like lag, but when I played with you guys, it was kind of bad.
But when the lag isn't there for whatever reason, it's really good. Like I have a lot of fun with it.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Playing with you guys was awesome when it worked. When it worked right, it was really cool, and I was really enjoying myself.
Absolutely.
So
Agree.
I'm glad that it's there. I'd rather have it than it not exist, and I'd rather deal with the lag and figure it out. So
We need to try it again now that it's not launch week. That might have contributed too.
maybe totally. Yeah.
The online, again, in addition to like the lag, which brings it down a little bit, traditionally it's a couch co-op game, or the idea is that you have to be in the same room to have that fun. We were playing just online without chatting, really, maybe some text through Skype, no voice, and I was feeling that joy of the chaos and I. Without like the trash talk or whatever that's like live or that energy, I was still having an amazing time. Once we do, take the time to get our chat going, I'm sure that it'll be even better. So I was actually surprised at how good that experience can be playing with friends online. Again, even hampered by the lag. There is an option, it should be noted, that the modes in online, you can create filters for what you'd like to play. And as of this time, there's lots of articles out there saying if I set the filter to wanting no items, 1v1, or 4-player Smash, you're going to be thrown into just whatever right now. Usually I end up on a 1v1 with items on or whatever it is. And it's just, I'm not paying too much attention to that. Usually we're creating the lobbies right now to play with friends. And that's enough for me. I'm interested in getting into the other modes, which we haven't dived too deep into, which is like the built-in tournament mode. I have not even touched that yet, and I want
The
to.
tag team mode, or whatever
the
that is, you
tag
pick
team.
three characters.
There's mob
There's
smashes
There's
and all
so
that.
many modes.
There's a lot of
Like,
modes within modes. Yes,
There's more content for me to. I've been playing it almost constantly as much as I can, and I feel like I haven't scratched the surface. There's so much content to even do in a week. So
Quickly, with the Joker announcement, can you just give me your pie in the sky, what you think the future holds for Smash as far as the other DLC characters that are coming? I believe that a Monster Hunter character is on its way. I think that a Rabid something, maybe it's a tag team where you swap out like a Pokemon trainer thing, but I think that's on its way from Mario Rabbids. What do you guys think? Clay?
Come back to me, Dave. Go first.
David?
okay. I think it's a little bit dependent on what this Persona announcement means. So there's some rumors that it might actually be because Persona 5 is coming to Switch.
Oh,
And it's just kind of done its
It's
promotion
coming.
with that. So I think, but if that's the case, I do think Nintendo's because Nintendo supposedly picked these and not Sakurai. I'm thinking that they're going to kind of want to gear them a little bit until games that may be coming out. So I think we could see. Sorry, my brain is not working. Someone from like Metroid Prime 4 or the new Fire Emblem game. I think those are two likely candidates, being that they're first-party Nintendo titles that are coming out sort of within the DLC range of Smash. I'm not sure about the other ones. I really want Banjo. I don't know if that's going to happen. I do think that there's a good chance we do get some kind of Microsoft rep just because of how good they've been together lately, and I guess data miners have found some Microsoft
Oh,
related
give me
IP in the code.
Cortana, please. Give me Cortana.
I don't think it'll be Cortana.
Why?
I think the most if it's going to be anyone from Microsoft, it'll probably either be Steve from Minecraft or Banjo because the fans have demanded it so much. But Steve would make more sense, but it depends how much they care about fan demand. But we'll see.
All right, Dave, wrap it up. We got to go.
Okay, the other likely one, maybe someone from Dragon Quest for Square. For the new Dragon Quest
not
11
bad.
coming to Switch. All right,
I would
go
like
ahead.
that.
Go ahead, Clay.
All right, I don't have a lot of them because I'm so defeated in guessing characters. I don't think it's going to be Banjo-Kazooie. If I had to guess, I'm going to say it's going to be a character from ARMS.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
I'd take it. Arms is cool.
Are we going to do ratings?
Yeah, so Super Smash Bros. Ultimate delivers on every front. It does have flaws, but the amazing character roster and solid mechanics are there. Had a lot of fun playing online, even though there was the lag. And I'm going to miss the historical depth of the descriptions and things like trophies. The sticker system, World of Light, is all right, but there's just so much there that is excellent. I definitely give this give it a 4.5 out of 5. I wanted to give it a 5.
Couldn't give it that perfect.
I
Couldn't give
couldn't.
it
I
that
couldn't.
perfect.
I had to be real. All right. go ahead.
Tisk tisk.
All right, I'll go next. I can't think of any reason not to give it a 5 out of 5. So I'm going to go with that.
Awesome. Same with you, Clay. 5 out of 5 all the way. It's probably my favorite games released this year that I've played. So absolutely 5 out of 5.
Right
All right,
on.
everybody. Thank you very much. Go ahead and unlock your mains and challenge us. Look out for us on all the social medias at Switch Talk 30 on Twitter and subscribe on YouTube. Just search Switch Talk. Thank you very much for watching. Happy holidays if we don't get to you before the Christmas break, and we'll see you next time.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Oh.
Huzzah!
All right, we're done.